Today, we dive into the shocking scandal about Mike Postle cheating during a poker live stream at Stone's gambling hall that turned him from a rising star to a true poker villain. Did he master the game or cheat his way to the top? Buckle up as we unravel the jaw-dropping allegations, mind-blowing evidence, and the drama that shook the poker world. But first, who is Mike Postle? Mike Postle was born in Wisconsin and developed an interest in poker at a young age. His early years in the game were characterized by a deep passion for strategy and a keen understanding of the psychological elements that define poker. Mike was not a household name in the early 2000s, but he was known in smaller poker circles for his solid play and keen analytical skills. Mike Postle's early poker career was defined by local cash games and smaller tournaments. He honed his skills in Wisconsin before eventually moving to California, where he sought to make a name for himself in the more competitive poker environment. In these early years, Mike was considered a competent player who could hold his own against more experienced opponents. But he was far from a standout. He primarily played in low to mid-stakes games, gradually building a reputation as a consistent and reliable player. Mike Postle's decision to relocate to California was pivotal for his poker career. California, particularly the Sacramento area, had a thriving poker scene, and Mike quickly integrated into this community. He began playing regularly at local casinos, including Stone's Gambling Hall, where he would eventually become a regular. During this period, Postle's game began to evolve. He transitioned from being a relatively unknown player to someone who was increasingly respected within the local poker community. His ability to read opponents and make seamlessly impossible calls and folds began to garner attention. However, at this stage, Postle was still flying under the radar, and his name was not widely known outside of the local scene. Mike Postle's poker career, despite its later controversies, had some notable accomplishments that initially gained him respect within the poker community. One of his most significant achievements was his remarkable winning streak at Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California. Over a relatively short period, Postle amassed substantial winnings, becoming a dominant force in the local poker scene. His performances on the Stone's live streamed games were particularly impressive. Postle consistently made incredibly accurate reads, leading to some calling him one of the best poker players they had ever seen. He seemed to possess an uncanny ability to make the right decision in high-pressure situations, whether it was folding a strong hand when he was beat, or making a hero call with a marginal hand. In addition to his success on streams live, Postle also had some respectable results in live tournaments. While he never won a major poker title, he did cash in several events, including the World Series of Poker. His tournament results, though modest compared to top professionals, added to his reputation as a skilled and dangerous player at the tables. Before the scandal that later engulfed him, Mike Postle was seen as a rising star in the poker world, with his biggest accomplishments centered around his ability to consistently win in live-streamed cash games. His name became synonymous with success in the mid-stakes games at Stone's Gambling Hall, and he was considered by many to be one of the most formidable players in that particular arena. Does Mike's grind in the early years remind you of a friend or poker story? We'd love to hear about it in the comments. The Stone's Gambling Hall. It was at Stone's Gambling Hall that Mike Postle's poker career took a dramatic turn. He became a regular in the casino's cash games and eventually started appearing frequently on their live stream games, known as Stone's Live. These streams featured real-time live stream poker games, adding a layer of excitement and analysis for the audience. Postle's performance on Stone's Live are what would eventually bring him both fame and infamy. Over a relatively short period, Postle's results on the stream became nothing short of extraordinary. He was winning at an unprecedented rate and making decisions that seemed to defy logic. His play was characterized by an almost supernatural ability to make the right decision in critical moments. In fact, Postle's decision-making was eerily accurate. Postle's incredible success on Stone's Live soon attracted scrutiny. Experienced players and commentators began to question how Postle was able to win so consistently, especially in situations where his decisions seemed highly improbable. The first seeds of doubt were planted when players and viewers noticed that Postle's winnings were disproportionately high compared to his peers. Poker enthusiasts and experts from around the world started reviewing footage of Postle's play, and what they found was alarming. Hand after hand, Postle seemed to make decisions that no rational player would make unless they had knowledge of their opponent's cards. His ability to avoid traps, make impossible calls, and fold very strong hands when he was beaten seemed too good to be true. As more evidence was compiled, the poker community became convinced that Postle was somehow gaining access to information he shouldn't have had. Theories ranged from him having a hidden communication device to collusion with someone inside the casino who had access to the live stream's whole card information. Mike caught cheating live. Veronica Brill, a prominent figure in the poker community, played a pivotal role in bringing the cheating allegations against Mike Postle to public attention. Brill, a commentator for the Livestream poker games at Stone's Gambling Hall, began raising concerns about Postle's gameplay in 2019, which eventually led to a major scandal that rocked the poker world. Brill's suspicions about Postle's play started to form as she observed his performance on Stone's Live. Postle's remarkable winning streak and seemingly inexplicable decisions caught her attention. As a seasoned poker commentator, Brill was well-versed in the nuances of the game and recognized patterns that did not align with conventional poker strategies. What stood out to Brill was the frequency and precision of Postle's correct decisions. He seemed to consistently make the right calls, folds, and raises in situations where other players would typically struggle. His play seemed almost too perfect, leading Brill to question whether his success was due to sheer skill or if there was another explanation. Despite Postle's strong performance, Brill's gut feeling was that something was amiss. In September 2019, Brill publicly voiced her concerns about Postle on social media and in interviews. She suggested that Postle might be cheating, pointing to the improbability of his consistent success. Brill argued that Postle's accuracy in making decisions, especially in high-stakes situations, was suspicious and did not align with the odds and probabilities of poker. She also posted videos of exceptionally remarkable plays he made,
achieved by any other poker player, describing the chances of his winnings statistically unfathomable in the world of professional poker.
Brill's allegations gained traction as more players and analysts began to scrutinize Postle's play. They reviewed hand histories and video footage from the Stone's Live broadcasts, noting that Postle's play were often simply too good to be explained by normal variance or his poker skill level alone. If a player was this good, why weren't they playing against world-class players? The analysts revealed that Postle had an extraordinary ability to make the correct decision almost every time. Brill's accusations sparked a wave of support and investigation from the poker community. Players, analysts, and commentators joined in analyzing and discussing the potential cheating. The collective effort led to a detailed examination of Postle's hands and decisions, further fueling the controversy. The poker community's response to Brill's allegations highlighted the broader issue of integrity in live-stream poker games. As the controversy unfolded, there was increased pressure on Stone's Gambling Hall to investigate the claims and address potential vulnerabilities in their live streaming setup. The allegations against Mike Postle reached a boiling point when several high-profile poker players and analysts publicly accused him of cheating. This led to a lawsuit being filed by a group of players who had participated in the Stone's Live games, alleging that Postle had defrauded them out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. The lawsuit brought national attention to the case, and Postle's name became synonymous with one of the biggest cheating scandals in poker history. While Postle denied any wrongdoing and claimed that his success was simply due to his superior skills and intuition, the evidence against him continued to mount. The lawsuit against Mike Postle became one of the most talked about legal battles in the poker world. It centered on allegations that Postle had engaged in systematic cheating. The plaintiffs accused Postle of using illicit methods to gain access to the opponent's cards, allowing him to make nearly flawless decisions and win an extraordinary amount of money. The lawsuit was filed in October 2019 in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of California. It included 88 plaintiffs who sought over $30 million in damages from Postle, Stone's Gambling Hall, and Justin Corradis, the tournament director and producer of the Stones live stream. The plaintiffs alleged that Postle had cheated them out of hundreds of thousands of dollars over several months by exploiting a vulnerability in the live streaming setup. The lawsuit claimed that Postle had a confederate who provided him with real-time information about his opponent's hole cards, which were visible to the production team during the live broadcasts. The plaintiffs theorized that Postle either used a hidden communication device, such as a phone or earpiece, or received signals through some other means from the insider with access to the live broadcast. This would of course allow him to make nearly perfect decisions at the table. Stone's Gambling Hall and Corradis denied any wrongdoing, with the casino asserting that their investigation found no evidence of cheating. Postle, for his part, consistently maintained his innocence, arguing that his success was the result of his skill and intuition rather than any illicit activity. In June 2020, the lawsuit was dismissed by Judge William B. Shub on the grounds that California law did not recognize the specific claims made by the plaintiffs. The judge ruled that the gambling losses, even if allegedly caused by cheating, did not constitute recoverable damages under California law. As a result, the case was thrown out without the court ever fully addressing the merits of the cheating allegations. The dismissal was a significant blow to the plaintiffs and left many in the poker community feeling that justice had not been served. However, the case did highlight potential vulnerabilities in live stream poker games and sparked ongoing debates about the need for greater security measures in the industry. Despite the legal outcome, the controversy surrounding Mike Postle remains one of the most notorious incidents in poker history. The poker community was divided, with some defending Postle as an exceptionally talented player who had been unfairly targeted, while others were convinced that he was guilty of cheating. The controversy led to a broader discussion about the integrity of live stream poker games and the potential vulnerabilities in the technology used to broadcast them. Do you think that Mike Postle cheated? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Aftermath in Mike's legacy. The aftermath of Mike Postle's scandal left a lasting mark on his reputation and the broader poker community. Despite Postle's strong denials and claims of innocence, the sheer volume of controversy and the public scrutiny he faced meant that his career was irrevocably damaged. The lawsuit's dismissal did little to repair his tarnished image, as the legal outcome did not necessarily equate to vindication in the court of public opinion. The settlement between Stone's Gambling Hall and the plaintiffs did not absolve Postle of the allegations against him. The casino reached a settlement to avoid further legal entanglements and to address the financial grievances of the affected players. But this move did not clear Postle's name or rehabilitate his reputation. The settlement, combined with the unresolved allegations, left many players and fans with lingering doubts about Postle's integrity. Postle became an outcast in the poker world. His name was frequently mentioned in discussions about cheating and ethics, reminding us that there is always the potential for dishonesty in poker. Even as he attempted to continue his poker career, the damage to his reputation made it nearly impossible for him to secure opportunities in the same way he once did. Casinos and poker rooms were weary of associating with him, and he was frequently banned from participating in major poker events and streams. The poker community and industry stakeholders began advocating for stricter controls and more rigorous oversight to prevent similar incidents in the future. The debate about the vulnerability of live stream games highlighted the need for enhanced protocols to protect the integrity of poker, leading to changes in how such games are monitored and broadcast. Hopefully, changes like these can ease players' concerns about live stream events. Poker live streaming has skyrocketed in popularity, becoming a major entertainment avenue for fans and players alike. Platforms like Twitch and YouTube have given poker enthusiasts the ability to watch games in real time, interact with streamers, and gain insights from top professionals. This accessibility has broadened the game's appeal, turning casual viewers into dedicated fans and inspiring many to play themselves. The community-driven aspect, where viewers can chat and connect with others, has further fueled its growth, making live streaming a key driver in poker's ongoing resurgence and cultural relevance. Mike Postle's early career, characterized by a deep understanding of poker and a seemingly promising trajectory, was overshadowed by the cheating allegations that defined his later years. Whether he was truly guilty or merely a victim of the circumstances and the suspicion that followed his meteoric rise, the scandal remains one of the most controversial and debated stories in poker history. In the end, Postle's legacy is a complex one. The Mike Postle scandal serves as a stark reminder of the importance of maintaining integrity in competitive environments and the lasting impact that allegations of dishonesty can have on a person's career and legacy. To stay up to date with the latest poker meltdowns, most recent stories, and legendary hands, make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.